Assalamu alaikum and welcome. This is the only way up. And before we begin, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Show us some love. And today's topic is Harry, Duke of Sussex, I think it is, and his victory over the Sun newspaper and Rupert Murdoch's Empire NGN Group over the phone hacking scandals. So this happened not too long ago, and it's really opened up a discussion about how reporters report, about journalism, about criminal activity, and even people's privacy. So, what do you think about this?
Sakam Shani. So we have been told for a long time that for a democracy to be a democracy, you need a thriving media. You need a thriving journalism. This is a check on the system. And if they do their role properly, where they account, where they investigate, where they bring to light how the system is working, this is something that is necessary in a democratic system. And in fact, media freedom is actually a measure used by many think tanks and organizations to measure other countries in terms of their progress. However, what we've seen in the UK and the West over at least a decade or so is the complete opposite. Rather than investigating, going undercover, and finding out what's really going on, what you're seeing is the media really, if they're not taking the government's position and promoting it, what they're doing is breaking the law, hacking people's emails, hacking their telephones, trying to get dirt in order for them to make money. And Harry's been in the media for a while. He's had quite a contentious relationship with the media. But let's be honest, Harry is merely one victim. You had Miley Dowler, if I'm saying her name right. She was the young child that was killed. And I think the News of the World hacked her telephone to get her messages. This is what these newspapers have been doing. A lot of it's about sleaze. A lot of it's really getting any information, no matter what. So rather than actually investigating and holding the pillars of power to account, really what they're doing is promoting their own career. And really, a lot of the stories they've even been selling are stories which are not stories that actually help the system. It really just helps the newspaper. And these are shocking stories which attract a lot of attention. So the mother of all democracies is actually looking like the worst of all democracies, really. The media have been doing tactics which would look make third world dictators look good. The politicians don't seem to be able to say a word of truth. You've got the economies of the West that don't seem to be serving the people. So the problems with Harry, although they represent one problem of one pillar of the Western system, when you put that into context of all the other problems they've got, you've got a deep problem here. All the pillars of your system, ruling, economics, the media, and none of these are actually working. In fact, what you see is a tiny minority use these pillars for their own advantage. So really, Prince Harry's story really just reveals the further underlying issues that exist.
That's right. And there's one aspect I want to touch upon is obviously why did all these celebrities or even people, feel aggravated to chase the Sun News? And there is a deep fitra nature of people that they don't want their private business on out there. This is normal. This is natural. That you don't want, what happens in the four walls of your homes, your conversations, your difficulties, your tensions, you don't want it out there. You want to solve them as people, as couples, as families, as a husband and wife, as a father and daughter, as a mother and son. You want to sort it all out. And every single human being has problems, good, bad, weaknesses in their relationships. This is natural and normal. And if you didn't have it, there'd be a problem. The issue is, can I do it in the safety of my own home, in the privacy of my own home, and take the journey that I need to help myself, help my family, help the situation? Or am I going to be plastered all over the newspapers? And even like when you look, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, if you visit someone, knock on the door 3 times. If they don't answer, go away. Even if you know they're inside, go away. They may be having some difficult issues. They may be not in the right state of mind. They may be dealing with something very important. Leave them. Yeah. Even the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that says when you go past someone's house, don't look into their windows. Don't look what's going on. Don't look. Oh, is that happening in there? And then next minute, it's everywhere, and you're talking about it everywhere. This is a culture which will prevent this. And even the Prophet ﷺ said, the Muslim is the one from whose tongue and hand the people are safe. And a Muslim, whoever conceals the fault of a Muslim in the world, Allah will conceal his faults in this world and in the hereafter. That even if you did somehow find out, legally or illegally, let's just say, through natural ways, through normal ways, through hearing a conversation or whatever, you find out something, then to go splatter it everywhere, publish it, front page, put it under the nose of millions of eyeballs. How is this helping anyone? How is this producing a society that cares, that looks after, and like the Prophet ﷺ, conceal their faults? It's a fault. That's what it is. It's a little dent in the personality. Okay, if you want to really, if you're really concerned, go help him. Go discuss with him. Go show him. Go guide him. But to publish it out there and under the guise of some sort of public interest and some need to know and some, journalistic rights and privileges is just making a mockery of people. It's making a mockery of how society should be, how people should be able to live comfortably in their own homes.
Yeah, that's why I'm not surprised, Shani. Many people consider the mainstream news outlets, whether it's the newspapers or the big media channels, as fake news. Many people now get their news from alternative media, from social media. I was reading, I think just over a year ago, that most youth actually get their news now from TikTok and Instagram. So these are individuals sharing pieces of information. And that's because people have seen that these big news or media organizations, rather than carrying out investigations, rather than actually helping and enriching people's understanding of issues, they do the complete opposite. There's this fake news. It's about personal and private things which they want to sensationalize. Really, people aren't learning. People aren't learning new. And what you tend to also find is on the strategic issues, they're completely allowing the government rather than accounting them. So you see with the mainstream media, they're completely taking the government position for the last year and a bit of what we've seen in Gaza. As far as we know, it's Hamas who carried out a genocide on October 7th and not Israel for the last year. So a lot of people have seen through this now, and that's why you're finding that because the politicians don't necessarily control what's spread on social media, that's where people are now getting information from. And these media organizations really do play a key role, and they should play a key role in explaining things to issues, investigating them, enriching and building the understanding of people of things. But they do actually the complete opposite. They are like any other company now. They need to make money, and they will sell whatever story will make the money, irrespective if the story is true or not, irrespective if there's a public interest or not. And that's why I'm not surprised that a lot of people now don't take their news or the information from these organizations. And that's why these organizations have to resort to tactics like these now, where they just try and bring sensationalist stories in the hope of grabbing people's attention.
And just one final point. Um, what's the effect of people reading stories of people's personal lives on the news repeatedly? This is what's going on in this house. Oh my gosh. This is what's going on in that house. Oh my gosh. This is the horrors in these four walls. We end up living in a society where no one can trust anyone. I wonder what's going on in there. I wonder what's happening in there. There must be some horror story. There must be something terrible going on. All it does is fuel mistrust amongst people, fuel mistrust in relationships, in a married couples, in a family home. There's always looking over the shoulder, looking one eye, looking. There's something. Must be something dirty. There must be something in the closet. There must be something that's bad. There must be something that he's hiding, she's hiding. How is this leading to any positive effect in society? So I think these newspapers have got a lot to answer for in how negative these relationships and toxic many relationships are becoming. So Jazakallah khair for listening. Share your thoughts by commenting below. And Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.